Hi, I'm Jeff.
I'm Regina.
And today we wanted to talk about our recent visit to St. Louis. We stayed at the DraftKings Casino RV campground that was there. And it is in East St. Louis, right on the Mississippi River. But it's right across the Eads Bridge, I think it was, to get over to the city. And literally as the crow flies, probably 2/3 of a mile from the arch, which is a pretty fantastic view every day. Some evenings it was shrouded in mist, the top of it, you know, when we had some weather, and then the sun shining off of it for sunset or sunrise was pretty awesome. The campground, what about the campground?
I would say the campground was no frills, no excitement. We pulled in and I'm not gonna lie, I thought I'm in a Sam's Club parking lot that they just put up meters, basically hookups. But my idea changed as the week went on. So my first impression was not real great. It was just kind of bland. No picnic tables. That was one downside, one con I didn't like. But we weren't there. We were gone morning to evening almost every day. But what it did have is what I liked. It did have a small playground right outside of where we were, our site. And so the kids could go over. It had 2 swings, a slide, and 5 covered pavilions. And the kids, that's all they needed. They had a great time using their imagination. So that was great. Also, with it being East St. Louis, that might draw a red flag to some people. Technically, the campground is in Illinois, not in Missouri, but because you're just on the other side of the Mississippi. But as you're driving in, you might think, I don't know if where I am staying is very safe. However, with the security at the casino, it was great. You had to have a keypad code to even access the campground, and as well to get into the laundry and to get into the shower and restrooms. So with that said, it really improved our overall experience as we went on. And it was very clean, and it was, no one was bothering you or micromanaging you. People were kind. It was, it served its purpose, what we needed it to do. And that was to be close to St. Louis to do what, Jeff?
Well, every morning I got to, when I went jogging, I just jogged over the bridge and ran around the grounds of the Arch Park, which was, oh man, it's such a great park. It's from a distance, you don't really get the impact of the arch, and if you've been there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But when you're there underneath it or next to it, it's a pretty impressive structure. And then as you go, we did the tour. That was one of the activities that we did. We rode the tram up to the top and visited the museum and did a couple of ranger talks and stuff like that. And the more you learn about the architecture involved with the arch, it's pretty interesting, and honestly, it's a really great architectural accomplishment. But there's a lot of history in the area as well, which I love. There's a ton of great free things that you can do in St. Louis and in the surrounding areas. We visited free. We visited some state parks locally, did a little bit of hiking. We also went to the Science Museum there, which was great. The kids really liked that. There's a lot of interactive stuff there.
That was a rainy day activity, which was wonderful.
Yeah, that was great. And then we also, you guys went to the zoo, so mention the zoo.
The zoo, fantastic. It's in the middle of Forest Park, and it was absolutely free except for paying for parking. And if you can find street parking, it's free parking on the street. But I wasn't real familiar with the area and just wanted to get into the zoo. But the zoo, coming from a background of working with animals, I can be a little particular on what I find as good housekeeping, if you will, and the St. Louis Zoo is wonderful. I definitely give it a thumbs up and would highly recommend the zoo.
Yeah, let's see. We also visited the botanical gardens. That was absolutely amazing, phenomenal. And then what else did we do? The arch,
which when you stay at the campground and you drive across the Eads Bridge to get to the arch, all you do is park for $7, so that's really the only cost. Of course, when he went running every morning, it was free for him to get on over on the grounds. But I know there's more we did. What else are we missing? The ranger talk.
Yeah, there's some really beautiful historical cathedrals there and stuff like that too, which I enjoy visiting. So I enjoyed that.
We want to do the city museum when we go back. We
Yeah.
did not get a chance to this time, but we want to do the City Museum and we want to do a Budweiser or Anheuser-Busch tour, which we did not get to do. So those are a couple things on our list.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff that we did not do that would be, you know, you could easily spend a couple weeks there and have plenty of activities. And we'll leave you with this, because Regina said that the campground was very clean and everything like that until the Kirbys left our spot.
Oh.
So we had this epic newbie, well, I did, mistake the night before we left. So the way that we normally do it is we will dump our black tank the night before we leave. We'll close up our gray tanks so that some water accumulates from showers and stuff like that, so we can run the gray water through before we leave the next morning. And a lot of times we'll after we've dumped the tank, we'll flush the black tank as well. And so I hooked up the hose, turned the water on to flush the black tank, and went around the camper to throw something into the dumpster, which was right across from where we were parked. And as I was walking over there, I was like, oh, I'm gonna forget this. And sure enough, I came back after I'd gone to the dumpster, and I had forgotten that I had the water running. Nothing happened inside, thank God. But Grace came out and she said, hey, there's no water on inside. And I was like, oh man, I forgot to, open the hatch to flush out the black tank. So this park was unique out of all the places that we've stayed. Most of them, when you hook into the septic, you kind of screw in. This just kind of sat in the tube. So when I opened the tank up again and the water rushed out, the hose just, it was a geyser. Yeah, it was a big mess. So fortunately, we had already dumped the tank and I already done like one flush through, but it was still a bit of a mess. So it delayed our leaving the next morning because everything had to be wiped off and sanitized, all our hoses, the cable, the wheel chocks and everything. It was something we'll be a little more careful with next time, or we will be a little more careful with next time. But yeah, that was one of our memory stories. Don't do as we did.
Yes, stay by while you're flushing. Don't walk away.
Don't walk away, and make sure that your hose is secured, either with a brick on top or whatever, or screwed in.
But would we stay at DraftKings again?
Absolutely,
Yes.
yeah, it was good. The rate was pretty good, and the access to everything in the city was phenomenal. So
Yes, absolutely.
yeah,
Enjoy St. Louis.
Yeah, enjoy St. Louis, and we will see you on the next video. You're still watching?
Really?
You're our #1 fan.
Yes.